Cancer, welcome to your November 2018 General Tarot reading. It's Raina, and if you're looking for just a tarot reading dedicated to love, I have one for the end of October and I have one for November. So check them out on my channel, on my playlists. I'm using the Wild Unknown Tarot here. I mentioned to somebody, I mentioned on another video that I've got one card that has a little chip in it, so I'm kind of like shuffling behind the scenes and not looking at it when I pick the card, so I don't, not looking at the back, so I don't pick that one. Then I have a card that has a little bit of a, like a bubble on the front of it, like a little, I don't know what you call it, it's got a little texture because it must have made contact with moisture. And somebody said, we need to get her a new deck of cards. And it's like, you don't have to get me anything. Because I like to use things. I think a Cancer person can feel me on this. I don't like to throw things away if they still have value, that's just wasteful. You don't have to be that quick to chuck something because of an imperfection. Just to, I just have to shuffle here and not look at the card, that's all. Well, that's a fine how do you do. That's the first card, the Tower. I remember I was laughing when I did Virgo's reading. Or I don't know, I think it might have been for the end of October. I can't remember, but it was like all these heavy cards. And when I first started doing this, I was like, what if I get all these terrible cards and then the person thinks their reading sucked? And, you just have to learn that it's not necessarily something bad at all. The Tower, I'm like loving the Tower now. I don't know how many Cancers like the idea of the Tower, but the Tower is a really cool thing. It's like when it's summer and there's like, it's almost unbearable. You can tell that everything is pent up, that it has to rain, and all hell breaks loose. And it really is needed. Sometimes we need for there to be a release. The Tower card is that release. And this is the heart of the matter. And I'm thinking, because you're going to have a full moon in your sign. And that's right before Christmas, so that would be for December. But this is a card of like something has to give, and you can't keep going the same way that you have been. And whether it's in a personal relationship, whether it's on the job, whether it's with your health, all of these things, it can be any area of life. If somebody is doing something that they shouldn't be doing, eventually it does catch up with them. And sometimes it's an acute situation, right? And like a heart attack is an acute situation where it just can hit somebody. I'm not saying you're going to get a heart attack, though. This is typically what is happening is, to me, with the Tower card, is that it is exposing the truth about a situation. I know that there are many possible interpretations, but to me, that's what it means. Is that it just totally gets rid of the deception, the covers, the whatever. So but see, here's the thing. I don't believe that many people are taken by surprise even when this Tower thing happens. Like, let's say somebody gets fired and they say, I never saw it coming. If you really talk to that person, and you say, well, did you notice anything in the office that was different? Oh yeah, well, the boss was kind of keeping to herself or himself and wasn't being very friendly to me. And I did kind of wonder about that. Or my coworkers were kind of like weird. Or something along those lines. Like in retrospect, in hindsight, you can see what happened, why this happened, but you don't, at the time, it seems like a shock. And same thing with like a marriage. Oh, this person blindsided me. Nah, probably not. There were probably other like cracks in that facade. But you didn't change. You didn't do what you were supposed to do. And I'm talking specifically about a cardinal sign like Cancer, because you're supposed to take action. That's like part of your signature as a cardinal sign, is that you take action. Now, obviously, you don't want to take rash action, but not to tolerate these types of situations. The foundation card that may inform this Tower situation is the Mother of Cups, which is the Queen of Cups. So that is kind of like, that's your card. That's the feminine intuition kicking in high gear. Psychic to intuition. And I'm not saying like, oh, you had this vision and then you saw what was happening, or you were doing remote viewing and you saw, you know, your husband cheating on you or something like that. What I'm saying is that it could be that you suspected something and you decided to pay a visit to the office, and that's where you saw them together. Or if this is a work situation, you had a hunch that something was off, and so you happened to position yourself in a certain place that you overheard something. Not that you were necessarily eavesdropping, but you happened to be, you happen to go around at a time when other people would be at that place. And this could even be like them training a new person to take your place, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. So you might stopped in at the place of employment when you're not, when it wasn't your shift, like if you're retail or something, and then you see this new person there and you're like, oh, so there was something weird going on. Because I've worked retail, and I know that, not that anything happened along those lines of just a secret employee, but I wouldn't put it past them, let me put it that way. Having worked in that line of, in that type of environment. And so, yeah, so something like you went on a hunch and you found out. So what is crossing you? The Five of Pentacles. Now you see, this card is kind of showing that sadness, but this is actually Pentacles. So it can be like money related. So if this is something that happened work related, like you got fired or you got passed over for a promotion, what may be kind of keeping you in a holding pattern is the fact that you're too into the financial security. And obviously we need money to live. I'm not like some clueless hippie that's sitting here and like, oh man, let's just like try to, you know, harvest these good vibes, man, and we're gonna just be able to pay the rent. No, you gotta have cold hard cash to pay the rent. I have Taurus rising. I get it. I'm not under any illusions about money being what the currency, the energy that is used to get what we want in this lifetime. It is what it is. Excessive need. The Five of Pentacles can be, if you did lose your job, that it would have been something that triggers that feeling of insecurity. You have to, you know, I know it's kind of a weird situation because somebody say, well, that's easy for you to say. Well, you know what? Now I work for myself, and that means I don't have a guaranteed income whatsoever. You know, why do people think that if you work for yourself, how can I control the clients I get? I can't. And, you know, it would make sense that if you make more videos, that you might get more clients because you'll have more out there, you get more word. And that generally, that makes logical sense, and I think that it follows that would happen. But I've had it happen where it didn't happen that way. And so I've had to learn to trust in the universe. And it's all good, because you know what? It doesn't matter. This isn't what we're here for. We're not here to feed ourselves, clothe ourselves, house ourselves until we die. We're here for much, much more than that. And, you know, I hate to put it so bluntly, but we only have so much time. And we're so concerned with the material energy. And, you know, that financial security is like this thing that people aspire to, especially cancers, because you're emotional. So you bring your emotions into everything, including your finances. And, you know, then you start to worry, and you can be a big worry wart. So the more that you can feel like, if the universe has put this in my path, then it means that I have to be happy about this. Not just that I have to tolerate it, but I have to say, thank God that you released me from this prison, because I would have never done it on my own. Now, what I want to say is, I just want to reiterate that this does not mean that cancers are all going to lose their jobs. This is a general reading, and the tarot isn't something that I even rely on for timing, although it does sometimes, you know, seem to work out that way. I'm interested in it for the spiritual lessons, first and foremost. And I rely on astrology for timing. So even if you're the kind of person who really believes that the cards can provide timing, it's a general reading. All cancers not going through the same thing. So please don't start getting worried because I said that. It could be in a different area of your life, or maybe it won't even happen. Oh, I've already picked that card, so. The higher message, this is great. Thank you, universe, thank you, tarot, for helping me to make this message. The spiritual message is, don't worry, be happy. Okay, let me make my case. This is the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is about friendship and celebration, okay? Now, this is a very lighthearted card, and it's sitting right next to that Tower card. So it's like, yeah, I'm going out and I'm going to have some fun. You know, this is random. I think I have ADD, but I was just thinking of that song. This is probably going to date me, though. Yesterday, I was thinking of that song by Samantha Fox. And there are going to be people watching this who are like, have no idea what I'm talking about because they weren't even born in 1986. Because you have to be like, can you believe that you have to be in your 30s to be born in 1986? That is like really scary for me. But that one song, I want to have some fun. So that's what it is, you know? And I was thinking of that song yesterday, and that phrase popped in my mind when I got that card. So that's like a great antidote to fear-based thinking. The Five of Pentacles could be the kind of person, and you know you're out there. There are people like this of every sign. I'm not picking on cancers. But it's like they cry poor. They, like, even if something bad happens, like let's say their company has to lay off people and they happen to be one of those people. They may have like so much money saved in the bank, and still they act like they're, oh, I can't spend any money and I have to cut back on Christmas for everybody because, oh well, I have to cut back on Christmas presents because I lost my job. But they have all kinds of money saved, and they have all kinds of investments and stuff like that. You know, this is you have to let go of the need to control everything and tap into that joy that the number 3 represents. It's a carefree number, creative number. Who knows? Maybe if this is a corporate job, it's freeing you up to do something creative, and maybe you're going to get a great severance package, and maybe you're going to be able to, you know, do whatever you want. If this is a relationship, you're going to be able to see your friends again. And I'm not saying that to be sarcastic. I'm saying that like, hey, you'll be able to see your friends again. Isn't that nice? Instead of just always having to be with this person. Maybe you're with a narcissist. If they were cheating and they were doing all that stuff, they were probably like a narcissist. And now you don't have to like build your life around this person and everything has to be about them. And you can spend more time with the people that really do care about you. What's coming in is represented by the Son of Wands, which is the Knight of Wands, and this could be like a male that is around you. Aries, Leo, Sag. Cancers tend to like Aries because they're kind of that go-getting energy, but you know, Leo can be too. Sages are, we're kind of, you know, Sagittarius can be ambitious, but it's not the same. I think an Aries person. But the thing is that this may even be somebody that, I think because this is advice, that it's asking you to be like this. So in other words, just have fun. Don't say you want to go back into a new relationship. If this is a relationship issue and you want to just have that permanent partner, so you start dating right away, and you want to get serious, no, because the Knight of Wands is somebody that's afraid of commitment. So this could be like a player type of a person, but if it's you, it could be playing the field. In other words, and it doesn't even, I'm not even saying that from a sexual standpoint. I'm just saying like old-fashioned dating and just having a good time. And I would even say like with the Three of Cups, just socializing, and maybe you'll meet somebody when you go out with your girlfriends, for instance, and have a girls' night out or a boys' night out, and you meet somebody in that setting. But even then, you're not like really eager to settle down. You're just kind of having fun. Oh, wow. I didn't even like put two and two together here. This is what's coming in, the Sun card. Well, this is love. And this is a wonderful thing, you know. The Sun is about healing. It's about love. It's about prosperity. So if you're worried about money, this is like saying no. This is about success. So the Knight of Wands too could be suggesting that you should have more cojones. I won't say you have more. I don't think in a spiritual reading I should say balls, should I? Oops, I just did. In other words, that you are kind of being more confident. I don't think that Cancer is a very confident sign unless you have like that Leo, you know, Mars in Leo, Venus in Leo, maybe the Moon in Aries or something like that. Some you know, Cancers do, and they're going to be a lot bolder. But if you're like that sensitive Cancer, you have to toughen up, you know, you have to, that doesn't mean being insensitive, but it means really being able to show your stuff. And I think that Cancer can be a humble sign in and of itself. Not, forget about the Leo, I'm talking about or the Aries, but the Cancer. And maybe you are the kind of person, you're not trying to show anybody up, and you just want to get along with people. And so the Sun is that vitality and that, but it's also shining your light. And, you know, it's under that Three of Cups. Shine your light. Be with your tribe. And really rejoice in all the beautiful things that are going to happen to you in this year. Who knows? Maybe that Tower card is like, in November, an introduction to this North Node in your sign transit. And it's taking out that Leo with a bang. And yeah, you know, whatever it means to you, like why this is happening. But it can be very exciting. It's going to be a very heady time. I feel for you. And then the outcome is the Mother of Wands, the Queen of Wands. And particularly, the Queen of Wands, I got the Son of Wands and the Queen of Wands. So, queens represent mothers, and Cancer is the sign of the mother. So perhaps you get love, and forget about timelines. We're not talking about just in this month. Maybe you have love that can lead to you starting a family with somebody. Or in terms of success, the Sun represents success, and the Mother of Wands is you being a successful career woman. And I have, you know, the vast majority of my viewers are women, and that's just par for the course. Even in yoga studios, you will see way more women than men. So it doesn't surprise me in spiritual matters, but I love men, and I'm so happy that I have 1% more viewership with men. I wanted to get to that 20% mark, which is, you can see how dramatically different that is. And with my analytics, I was looking at that, and I always have this high percentage of women. But in any case, a man, you know, with the Queen of Wands, this could be having a female boss who really has your back, who really wants the best for you. I feel like Queen and Kings of Wands are great leaders, you know, in a business sense, because, or in a workplace sense, because they are positive. They give positive strokes. They're not like, if I got the King of Pentacles, that person might just be interested in the bottom line. And that's not, to me, cool. You have to have creativity. That's what Wands represents. You have to be willing to, you know, have a passion for what you're doing. Fire is all about passion and not just greed, okay? It's passion, and it's, the prosperity comes from having a zest for life, of like, I want to expand myself in every possible way. I want to, you know, try new things. I want to be able to do different things. So that's why I want freedom in the workplace, so that I have this sense of being able to imbue my work with my own decisions. You know, everybody wants that, I think. And so maybe that is going to come for you, where you have a person who is leading you, who gives you free rein and trusts you, and trusts that you know best how to do your job. So however this pans out for you, Cancer, I hope that you enjoyed this. And if you'd like a private reading, the link to my website is below. Have a great month. Take care. Bye.